Gaffer, how do you sum up what has been a dramatic afternoon here at Plainmoor?
Well, people love dramatic games, don't they? Especially when it goes in your favour in the last, minutes. We had the disappointment when we went to when we went to Hemel, and they celebrated big at the end, if you remember. Demoralised us for the trip home because they scored too late on. And tonight we got the late one, and so we got our own back, and we made them feel like we felt last time. So honours even. I thought it was a good game. I thought they broke well when we give the ball away, which everybody's going to give the ball away. I think sometimes some supporters behind me think that the other team should never touch the ball in 90 minutes, you know what I mean? But having said that, I thought the supporters were brilliant tonight, and when we needed them, and they know that because we've scored late many times. So we appreciate the ones that were, getting us going for that last 10-15 minutes, because that was so important. Because you look at the league table now, you look at the results that have gone tonight, you couldn't have wished for a better run of results. But it's still early, and I was very pleased with a couple of our new ones, because they put in a shift. Some of them are not quite 90-minute match ready, but they've got to play because that's what we got at the moment. But every game we get through gives them an extra piece of match fitness. That's why we had to take Will Jenkins off. Plymouth wanted us to do 30 minutes in his first game, 60 minutes in his second, and then he's good to go. So that's great. Now we got him for as long as we want him. I thought Ethan done very, very well. People gave me a bit of stick, didn't they? You told me, I think, or somebody told me about it on the social media. I don't read it, thank God. And I thought Ethan had a great game. I enjoyed his performance, and then I enjoyed the lads because we had to defend well, because they got some big uns there, and that's only the second goal now that teams have scored against us direct from a corner, and it was this team that had done it twice. So that's 2 out of 110, as people will find out when they see the podcast or whatever it was, or the video when it comes through. But so anyway, delighted for the boys, delighted for the fans, because it's a good run we're putting in. We said we needed a good run. I felt we were good enough for a good run. Sometimes we have to be patient. I prefer the game to be won before the 95th minute, but if we got that in us, then that's great.
One of the hallmarks of the 5 successive wins that we just alluded to is the fast start that your team has made in recent weeks. Obviously, that didn't happen today, falling 2 goals behind. But what the thing it did give you is it gave you plenty of time to get back into the game, and probably key that Ryan Hansen, who's not always received all the plaudits here at Plainmoor, got that goal to get you back in the game. Yeah, I mean,
all our players that we bring in are decent players. It's just their confidence. And whether they cope in adversity sometimes. Hans had 2 concussions, which is unbelievable. Put people out for a season on some players when they get 2 concussions. But he's come back. He's always been there or thereabouts. He's a great athlete, loves a tackle, and he played his part today as he did at Frome. So he deserved his place, and he'll deserve it again.
And Ethan Archer bundling in the leveller soon after that. It's no sooner had you fallen 2 goals behind, you were back on level terms. Do you think that was a key moment?
It was definitely a key moment, because we had to get back quickly. You're thinking, well, if we can get to 2-2 at half time, then we'll have another 45 minutes. But it took a little bit longer. But I thought Theo as well. I thought they both, Ethan and Theo, put in a real good work rate. Absolutely. And we was thinking, will they be able to last 96, 98 minutes? But we kept them out there because we kept Ethan out there because we thought he still had his legs, but we could see Theo wasn't sprinting anymore, you know, because he did a hell of a job up there on his own against two big lads. Obviously, he made the first one. That Ethan, he will say, side-footed the ball in nicely, Ethan. But Theo was the instigator because he kept getting down the sides of them, and he was a thorn in their side every time. They had to be careful by having too high a line because we were getting Theo in when we needed to. So, you know, it wasn't a perfect performance, but it was a perfect result.
It was a very open game, and obviously Mark Holstead came up with saves when he needed to. It looked for a long time like it was going to end all squelch. Not many of the games have this season, but then Gary Time alive and well, and the old stage of Dean Moxey coming up with the winner with a minute to go.
That's a goal as well, because that was everything that he's about into that goal. Quality, passion, desire, and I mean, he hit the post, didn't he, with himself, you know, and he knew he was going to hit the post, but he's so committed in his actions. You know, he wanted the lads to win that game, and himself, of course. And when I saw it, sort of it was a great cross, by the way, from Brett. And then we had a couple that just missed it, and then Dino done his bit and scored a fantastic goal. So, as the captain on the day, he's come up with the goods that a captain needs to come up with.
And finally, Gaffer, obviously you alluded to the results elsewhere, which are largely gone our way today, up to second in the table. It was only 3 weeks ago, obviously there was that disappointing result at Dartford, but you profess to everyone to keep the faith. That faith is now being repaid, isn't it?
It is up till now, and I'm very pleased with that, because to get, was it 5 wins on the trot, is it in the league? Or 4? 5 over the last, so all competitions. And we always kept the faith that we had it in us, and now we got to go and make it. You know, you got to make it 6, then 7, and then you are flying. It's nice to have made a little bit more ground up on Yeovil. So yeah, I'm delighted, and you know, I'll have a glass of wine with the wife tonight at home, and that'll go down lovely.